Namaste, everyone. All right, back again, dealing with Shiva every day, and we're going to talk about something today that I think you guys will be familiar with, but something for you to learn. Today, we're going to talk about soul food. And I'm not talking about the movie Soul Food. I'm talking about soul food. The soul food, not as a metaphor. I'm talking about actual substance, the stuff that you eat. All right, so soul food. We all know it as comfort food. You know, the good food that you come home to your mama and talk about and write about, like, oh, my mama made something nice for me. It was so good. I feel great. Soul food. Now, there's things about this place that you guys don't know about that we explained in past videos and transposition and observation about your refrigerator. Soul food, as we explain it from a Black American perspective, soul food is something that as Black Americans, we love. We can't help it. We love us some fried chicken, greens, collard greens, mac and cheese, grits, you name it. We love it. All right? And there's an essence into this food that you eat. It's called divine principality. As a god and goddesses that you guys are, when you cook, you're doing magic, believe it or not. I know you probably don't believe this, but you guys put yourself on a lower pedestal when you're on a lotus pedestal. You want to start cooking for your family and yourself. You don't want to go eat processed food, guys. Anybody that attains enlightenment or ascension in this place knows not to eat processed food. Automatically, it's a subconscious derivative. We tell you this. We keep you away. Last year when he became awakened, he was compelled not to go to any fast food restaurant. Not only are they not cooking soul food, food is transpositioning from different realities. So you're not never getting the same product that you're eating from the original source copy. So everything's about ingesting copies and copies and copies until it becomes corrupted data. So you can't ingest corrupted data. It just doesn't do anything for you. Nothing. It just makes you sicker. So soul food, what I mean by you guys do magic, you guys do magic when you cook food. Believe it or not, you really do. So we're going to explain why soul food is better for you. And I'm not just talking about soul food in general as far as green beans and mac and cheese and fried chicken. It's not what I mean. I mean like transforming base material matter and transforming it into another understanding that is not the same as what it used to be. God likes chefs. He loves chefs. This guy's a chef. We chose him for a reason, because he is a creator. By being a creator, it's all art. So when you cook, you're creating art, guys. God's an artist. What would Jesus do? What would God do? Well, God would create art in everything that he does. That's what he is. That's how you are. This is why you're as beautiful as you guys are, as far as sentience goes. You harness his consciousness, guys. You all harness God's consciousness to be able to transform something as illusions into something else. Now, everything here is illusions. You have to take illusions and make it real and make it stick. So the best way to do that, and the Masons know about it, to make something real, is to build a foundation. So when you take a foundation in a home, you erect a temple or a home, then it becomes real because it's a construct now. It's a vibrating construct. Same with your food and material matter. You create a foundation when you're cooking. Then when you display the art, it is real. Versus going to go buy some banquet dinners, frozen, you just don't mess with this stuff. You cannot take material matter from a processed source and then make it divine. It don't work that way. Not at all. It's already been handled by hands that don't know what they're doing by Tantra. It's in factories. It's transpositioning from state lines to other state lines to get into your grocer's freezer and to that place that's transpositioning. Then you take it home and put it in your refrigerator, and then it goes to another void space. Then you take that same material, copied matter, and then you heat it up from a processed source, and it does nothing for you, and it makes you sicker. It sustains you. The illusion tells you that, hey, I'm not hungry anymore, but it's a lie. So with soul food, you're doing divine just by creating meals for your family or yourself and God's understanding. You're doing divine principality when you're cooking. So as a chef, when chefs take, I don't know, a protein, a starch, and a veg, put other constituents with it, transform it, turns it into art, and then makes it delicious, it is more real in your dream world than the dream world that you're living in. That's real. You're not. You're just illusions. And you're taking illusions and turning illusions into matter that becomes something else that's real. So even chef, culinary cuisine is soul food. Anybody that prepares a meal for you, go to a Chinese restaurant that has high volume. And I'm talking about a mom and pop's Chinese restaurant. We're not talking about bibimbap. That's not, again, you're dealing with commissaries, guys. You're dealing with storage units that don't have Himalayan salt water, and on top of that, smoky quartz as an element in these water bases to be able to stop transpositioning. So everything needs to detransposition. And the only way that you can do this is by a camera in your refrigerator and your refrigeration units and your freezer units, and everything stays in your reality. So the food works better, but everything has a time period here, and it's 3 days. Everything here is done in thirds. So if you prep as a chef, you got to do numbers, guys. Stuff in your refrigerator cannot last for more than 3 days. If it does, it is void. It's nothing. So a lot of people will eat leftover food that's been in their refrigerator for like 4 to 5 days, and then all of a sudden they feel extra bloated or agitated or restlessness or indigestion. All kind of weird shit will happen inside of you internally. But one thing that will happen that you guys will know is that you're sustained. You put something that is void, that isn't from the original copy, in transpositioning, because all you guys transposition every time you sleep with no cameras on you. You all guys transposition the opposite realities to where your food does not match. Once you close that refrigerator door, it is or isn't. It becomes a Schrodinger's cat. And I'm not joking. Is it there or isn't it? So you have to do things to your refrigerator to make sure that shit stays in place by having an observational view inside of your camera. Inside of your refrigerator with the camera. So if you can't do the camera, which that's kind of hard to do, get a bowl, fill it up with fresh water, purified water preferably. We explained this before in the last videos. You'll take 15 smoky quartz or quartz. You'll apply 3/4 cups of Himalayan salt into 28 ounces of water into a glass dish or ceramic dish, not metal. Put it in your refrigerator on the top shelf on the back right side or in your walk-in. This purifies and keeps samsara at bay from affecting your material matter that you have worked hard for. Go to the store and buy food to put in your refrigerator that doesn't sustain after 3 days. Let alone, even with camera or observation or smoky quartz stones and Himalayan salt water, it still does not last past 3 days, guys. Okay? But it keeps it in place, so it still works better for you. So always maintain this. This spell lasts for 15 days when you put this. You have to change out your water in your refrigerator every 15 days in order for this spell to work. All right, you guys, you're dealing with black magic. All you guys are living inside of black magic, as you scientists call dark matter. It's black magic. So you have to look at this place in a different sense. You have to unlearn what you've learned because man has taught you a bunch of lies. And this is what we're teaching as truth. And we prove it here later, that transpositioning is actually happening. And people are calling it a Mandela effect. It's not a Mandela effect. It's transpositioning. Okay? It's none of that. So, soul food. Better for you. Don't eat it to excess. You know, soul food comes in different formats. I'm talking to my people as Hebrew Americans, Black Americans. You can't eat fried chicken and greens and watermelon every freaking day. You got to change the signal of what you take into your vibrational field, into your vortex. You cannot combine the same thing. You have to change it. It's like smoking marijuana. You can smoke the same weed all you want. It does not do anything for you after a while. You can smoke the same weed all you want, and it'll just make you hungry and tired, and it will not do anything for you after a while. So you have to change your marijuana. You have to change the signal, and then smoke something, and then all of a sudden it works. Then maybe you're not as hungry as you was smoking the last batch of weed that you've been smoking for a month straight. Okay? This is all hell matter here, guys. You have to take hell matter and transform it into divine matter. Now, everything here is karmatically influenced from all the proteins that you guys ingest into yourselves. So, everything is karmatically influenced. You guys aren't blessing your food before you put it on your stove, right? So, think about chicken, for instance. We're not going to talk about beef because beef is something that you should never eat here because you're eating yourself. But when you eat chicken, you're still doing the same thing. Okay? Reincarnation is real, guys. Once you die, you're back in here within an hour. You're not gone anyplace. Some people might linger around and become specters and then be stuck in the bardos of becoming and not knowing where they're going. And sometimes, a lot of times, they linger onto their physical attachment. But most of the times, that seldomly happens. Maybe 15 to 20% of the time that happens. 80% of the time, you don't pay attention to the swirling white light, you're lost in a dharma tide, and you're in a state of becoming. Then you womb hole into another vessel, and then you might become a chicken. And then you get slaughtered, unblessed during the slaughter, taken to a factory. It's also handled by other understandings that's been born into this place. Hands touch it. It gets packaged. It goes into a freezing unit. Then it goes to another place, another commissary. Then it gets redistributed to you guys. And then you just don't know what the hell you're eating. But one thing that you are eating is yourselves. So when you take meat, you need to take your meat and bless it as it's raw. And I'm talking to even my people, anybody. If you raise a farm and you're getting ready to slaughter that chicken, say a prayer over that chicken. Let that chicken know it's going to be okay because it still has a signal of understanding of language. Language has no barriers when it comes to the mind. You talk to the chicken, let it know it's going to be okay. You're going to send it off to a better place. You bless it. You pluck it. After you cut its head off, you decapitate it. You gut it. You bless the chicken. You pull it from the bones. You bless it before you cook it. Okay? You have to. Even Judaism knows this. That there's a rabbi that goes to kosher kitchens and blesses their walk-ins and their freezers every week for this reason. Blessings are real, guys. You have to bless your food before you cook it, especially when it comes to dealing with eggs. And I'm talking to all you egg eaters out there. Eggs, you guys are cannibals. You guys are freaking cannibals. It's like you're taking an unborn fetus and putting it in a pan and eating a baby. Now think about that the next time you eat an egg because you're doing the same fucking thing. Same thing. You're taking an unborn fetus out of a woman, human, put it in a pan and cook it and call it scrambled human eggs. That's what you're doing, guys. Same fucking thing. So when you take your eggs, please bless them. Take them to your forehead and say a blessing before you cook your eggs. I know it's hard to do, guys, but you guys are gods and goddesses. You have power of blessing here. And they don't want you guys to know that. They just want you to think that you're just only human. They just want you to understand what is meant to be an atheist so you don't feel that power of God. You don't feel that power of oneness and the understanding of the universe and life and all sentience. You cannot ingest life. The only life that you can ingest here is vegetables. See, vegetables have a different type of consciousness. Mar can't put human or Lakshar, Kim, or Reikimokin and understanding inside of vegetables. They don't have eyes. Okay? It's all about eyes. In this place, it's about eyes. Now, vegetables don't have eyes. They don't. So they can't observe anything karmatically happening to them. They can't make an observational standpoint to know if they exist or don't exist. So they have no eyes. So therefore, Mara can't put you into a vegetable thinking that, hey, I can karmatically influence that vegetable. You can't influence a vegetable. You can't teach a vegetable to make a gun. You can't get a vegetable to go up and kill people or rape a woman. You can't teach a vegetable how to watch porn. Okay? So therefore, you are what you eat. You all guys are born as lotus flowers in heaven from where we come from. You all are born out of lotus flowers. And everybody has their own same lotus flower in the flower fields. Or the field of flowers, I'm sorry. And everybody's genetic code is flowers. So you all guys are walking Venus flytraps, believe it or not. That's the metaphor of what we're explaining about you humans, is that you're walking Venus flytraps. You're supposed to be vegetarian, guys. You're not supposed to eat life. The only life you're supposed to eat is vegetables, grains, certain starches. You just leave meat alone. Now, you can eat meat here. And we're going to give away like 3 types of meats you can eat. Well, actually 4. And it's all about the eyes. Okay? Fish, you can't really eat fish, guys. As much as you claim to eat fish, the only fish that you can eat is saltwater fish. The only thing that you can eat from the sea is mussels and scallops, clams. Okay? You cannot eat anything with eyes, but there's one that you can. And you have to pay attention to this, guys. Lambs and goats. Lambs and goats. Not only this lambs and goats, deers, yaks. Let's see here. What's another one? Buffalo. Asian buffalo. Buffalo. Indians, the Native Americans here knew to eat buffalo. Lots of it. Now, it's about the eyes. Every one of these animals that I've just suggested does not have the eyes of you guys. Fish has the eyes like you guys, but they don't have eyes like you guys. So look at their pupil. Their pupils are rectangular. These are divine beasts that you can ingest. Not all the time, but you are okay to eat these animals. But don't eat chicken. You can eat chicken. There's a neutrality with chicken that we don't like to talk about, but still, you're still eating humans when you eat chicken, as we're training him because he loves chicken. And as Siva, one of the things that I like here as a food is pizza. We're not going to talk about why I like pizza, but it's artwork and it's transformed. It comes from something transformed, and then it's done, and it's created with the understanding of Agni. So, like, stone oven pizzas is one of my favorites because Agni is infused, not propane hell gas. So anyway, or natural gas. These are hell gases. This is not divine. But with Asian buffalo, deer, yak, goats, lambs, they're all related. They're all related, guys. And if you pay attention to their eyes, they're telling you something. And these are the only vessels that you can really eat. And like I said, you can't do it on a regular basis. So, by this knowing, start ingesting more goat, lamb. These are divine principalities that is okay and safe enough for you to eat. Everything else, you should want to stay away from it. All right? So anyways it goes. Soul food comes into that understanding of those type of proteins we just suggested. Fried chicken, we already know. Everybody loves fried chicken to some degree. We're not talking shit about chicken at all. Just know how to wean away from certain life that you're taking into yourself. All right? It's all about karma. It's all about reincarnation. And once you take somebody's genetic information into you after the carcass has already been deceased, you're still taking their understanding into you. So when you eat a big meal with a lot of meats, you have nightmares or you just feel like crap. The meat doesn't pass through your body. It takes about 3 days for it to pass. Your insides are rotting, guys. And demons are attracted to the smell of rot, flesh, blood, shit, and piss. And it's all right inside of your internal digestive system. So in your digestive system, it's all about tracking and smell in this place because this is the realm of the five senses. But demon senses are more acute than you guys' senses. So they can hone in on what's inside of your material illusionary matter. So when you have soul food interplay into your life, you burn it differently than processed food. You burn soul food so much faster. Believe it. Trust me, it's the truth. So think about a good fried chicken dinner your mom cooks, a leg and two legs and a thigh, some mashed potatoes, gravy, and some greens. You're going to get rid of this material matter out of your body faster than stuff like making 2 ham sandwiches. That stuff will linger. But the purging of what you're taking into soul food that's been transformed works better for your system. So, eat out, guys. Seriously. Go to your local chefs. Go to your local food trucks. Go to your mom's house. Ask her to cook you a meal. You're getting divine just. You're getting divine principality into your system, guys. Okay? You are what you eat. And this is soul food that you have to have. Peace out, guys.